What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This here is Legitical Response. We cover political news, and folks, I want to bring to you some more Trump derangement syndrome because it doesn't ever seem to get better. It only seems to escalate, and I am just curious as to see just how far and how high this escalation of TDS can actually go.
It is corruption on top of corruption on top of corruption. But let's zoom out and look at the broader implications here. If Trump is elected, you've then got a lawless criminal president who's been given carte blanche to commit criminal acts in office with impunity, with the threat of prosecution waiting for him on the other side. Do you really think that that guy is going to relinquish his power willingly? Bear in mind, this is someone who already incited an insurrection once to retain his grip on power, and that was before he'd have stacked his administration and the federal government with sycophants and lackeys. Imagine what that would look like in a second term without the Mike Pences and Mitt Romneys and Liz Cheneys and Adam Kinzingers and others to hold him back. The Supreme Court just effectively gave Donald Trump the green light to be a dictator, unaccountable to no one but a Supreme Court that clearly is far from a check on his power.
All right, so here we go with the old dictator line once again, acting like jurisprudence doesn't exist, acting like the judicial system doesn't exist, acting like the Supreme Court is just Donald Trump's administration, for God's sakes, right? They tend to forget that this applies to all presidents. This applies to Joe Biden as well, right? That's not going to allow Donald Trump to go after Joe Biden once Joe Biden comes out of office. You do realize that because everything they can go after Joe Biden on falls under presidential immunity now. So, I wonder why he would do that. Kind of makes no sense, does it? But that's not the only thing that they're lying about. They're lying about a whole lot more stuff. Check this out.
With Trump deliberately avoiding answering questions with any substance and Biden struggling to articulate his points. This was especially clear during the abortion section, with Trump spewing this blatant lie after Biden said he supported Roe v. Wade.
So that means he can take the life of the baby in the 9th month and even after birth, because some states, Democrat run, take it after birth. Again, the former governor of Virginia, put the baby down, then we decide what to do with it. So he's willing to, as we say, rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month and kill the baby.
Okay, that is obviously a ridiculous claim. There are 0 abortions where a baby could possibly be killed after they were already born, because at that point, it would be an infanticide, which is illegal. It's illegal in exactly 0 places. In the English language, the word abort literally means to stop a thing in progress. You cannot stop a pregnancy once a baby is born because that means the woman is no longer pregnant. It's like if somebody jumped into a pool and decided to abort that jump while they're already in the water.
Well then, ma'am, let me ask you this one question. Why the hell did this Democratic governor say this?
If a mother is in labor, I can tell you exactly what would happen. The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mother.
Now, their claim on that is that he was talking about a situation where the baby would die anyway. Well, that wouldn't fall under abortion.
That was an entirely unnecessary answer from Northam to a question about late-term abortion. Because once again, this is not late-term abortion. He's talking about the tragic, if rare, cases where parents have to decide if they want to take invasive and painful life-saving measures if an infant is born with a very low or even 0 chance of survival. It is literally a parent's worst nightmare.
Why did he say it like that? Like, why did he throw that out there for everybody to hear? It doesn't make any sense. But that's not the point, right? We understand that that's very, very rare circumstances, and that's not what we're arguing anyway, right? Like, and none of this stops them from saying Donald Trump and his Republican MAGA allies are going to force an abortion ban on everybody. Well, then let me ask you this. Why does he keep saying otherwise? Why does he keep saying, let the states decide? Why does he say that? Most people agree, and I agree with Trump. It should be a state decision because you'll never get all of Congress to agree to an abortion ban. I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen. It would be political suicide, just an outright ban. Even though that would probably be a good thing, I still think a good compromise is 6 to 9 weeks. What is wrong with that? Nothing is wrong with that. But the argument from the other side is always, well, late-term abortions, they're so rare, they never happen. They never happen whatsoever. Well, then why not outlaw them? Why not put in a 6 to 9 week ban? They will fight vehemently against that. It's like, if you're arguing for something that quote-unquote doesn't happen, then why are you opposed to banning it? But if you go look up at a map, there is 7 states that have absolutely no regulation on abortion whatsoever. That means, like seconds before it's born, they could absolutely kill the baby. That is horrific, if you ask me. I still personally think that the Democrat Party is brainwashing these people. They love to say, oh, well, it's just reproductive health care. They don't want Republicans to have reproductive health care, folks. Yeah, that's not reproductive health care. I'm sorry. Abortion is terminating the reproduction. That's what abortion is, to halt something, like she said earlier. But the abortion issue, it's such a loaded topic. People get up in arms over this one, right? You've got people all across the country, they'll go and protest in front of these abortion clinics, and for good reason. And the Biden administration is absolutely going after these people for peacefully protesting. They'll quietly arrest these people. You know, once they leave, they'll go to their house and arrest them. Look at Mark Houck. He got his home raided because he defended his son from one of these insane left whack job crackpot individuals that was threatening his son. He gets in this guy's face, pushes him back, and he gets arrested, had to spend a year in prison over defending his son over an abortion clinic, like protesting outside of an abortion clinic. These insane crackpot individuals will get out there and start yelling and screaming because of somebody protesting that you're ending a baby's life. And the Democrats are always the ones talking about women's rights and all this. Well, what about babies' rights? What about their right to life? They don't have a voice for themselves. So who is going to stand up for their rights? Who is going to stand up for these people? Just so happens to be Republicans. That's the only people. Christians who are quote-unquote evil. And this is the most insane talking point I think I've ever heard. The people that will get out there and pray for you to get healthy again, will pray for you to get out of a bad situation, will pray for you to have a better life, to be a more productive member of society. Yeah, that's the evil people. The people that go to church on Sunday. The people that will give money to strangers, for goodness sakes. The people that read the Bible, basic instructions before leaving Earth. And then they're going after Louisiana. Oh, they're crazy for wanting the 10 Commandments on a poster in every classroom. How is that crazy? How is that crazy whatsoever? How is that religious zealotry? Huh? I would like to know the answer to that question. I do understand there is questions around that, a separation of church and state. However, the 10 Commandments is just basic laws for the most part. You got a couple in there that aren't laws because they're totally religious. But for the most of it, you know, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, you know, don't mistreat your parents. You know, a lot of this, you can point to a specific law that regulates these things. So I don't really see the problem with having a poster, but that doesn't stop the left from crying foul on all of these issues. That's another thing I really don't get about the left. They are the quote-unquote tolerant people, right? But they can't tolerate Republicans. It's just crazy to watch these people flounder and flail around with their insane ideology, whatever that may be. It's like whatever their thing of the week is just what they're going with, what their ideology is. It's an amorphous blob that is constantly changing, and it's never the same thing. They're always on about something different. Progressing society in such a way is damaging to said society. They're trying to rip apart the differences between men and women. They're trying to rip apart the differences between male and female, for goodness sakes. They're trying to intertwine the two right? By saying, oh, well, you're assigned a gender at birth. What? No, you're not assigned anything. I'm sorry. That's just not how biology works. But that doesn't stop them from arguing it, right? Like, we know these people, they just argue any old thing, whatever their emotional feelings are for that week, that's what they're going to argue. And you can't really win an argument if you don't have facts, logic, and science on your side, especially the logic. People are very logical creatures, right? We see something, we say, hey, that kind of doesn't make any sense. Then we're going to be a little bit skeptical about whatever doesn't make any sense. So you can't fault people for saying, hey, hang on, maybe we shouldn't put men in women's sports because maybe men are actually built differently than women, and maybe women could be hurt or injured badly if we allow this to take place. But they're going to cry foul on this. And it blows my mind, once again, to watch these people flail and flounder around and try to come up with excuses as to why we should allow people to do this. It doesn't really make any sense to me, folks. But that's all I got for this one, folks. I just wanted to counter the corporate press narrative because that is exactly what I do, because they're constantly lying to you. Constantly lying. Just watch, read in between the lines and see what they're saying. Go fact check some of these people, and you will see the lies of the corporate press is constant and pervasive, y'all. But I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comment section. Do you think some of this is just outright insanity? But y'all let me know what y'all think. That's all I got for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching, and y'all try to have a good day and stay legitical. Peace.